Alright, Mr. Weeks here again today. We're going to talk about area triangles and other quadrilaterals. So let's get right down to it. Alright, so let's start with some triangles. Now the formula to find the area of a triangle is simply a squared, that's Pythagorean. Area is equal to 1/2 the base times the height. Alright, so if we take a look at our given triangles, we'll start with the one on the left. Alright, here we go. So one on the left. So we're looking at the base. Alright, we're going to call this piece down here our base. So we're just literally going to plug it into our formula. 1/2 the base, which is 4, times my height. We're going to call that 5. And then we simply just simplify our expression. So 1/2 times 4, or 1/2 of 4 is 2, times 5, multiply it out, you get yourself area of 10. So if this was inches, this would be, the area would be in square inches. Alright, now we're no longer talking about just numbers or distances, now we're talking about an area. Alright, let's jump it over to the other example we've got. So again, area equals 1/2 times the base. Base is going to be 8. And my height is going to be 10. So 1/2 of 8 gives me 4, times my height of 10 gives me 40, and say this is feet. We're looking at 40 square feet. Alright, pretty simple stuff. Now, some people have asked me, where did the 1/2 base times height come from? And I'm glad they asked. Because let's take one of our favorite shapes in the whole wide world. Square. If we take our square, and let's say we go all Fruit Ninja on it, we just chop it right in half. What did we just make? We just made 2 triangles. So in order to find the area of my square, we would have done base times height. Right? Same thing if we would have done rectangle. Let me throw one of those out there. Boom, rectangle. Going all Fruit Ninja again. Slice it in half. And again, we still have 2 triangles when we cut the rectangle in half. And again, base and height. So the area of my square is simply base times height. The area of my rectangle was base times height. We sliced it in half, so we only want half of it, so you can either multiply by 1/2, multiply by 1/2, or we can divide by 2. It's the exact same operation. And just for example, if I say what is half of 8, you would say 4. And if I say what is 8 divided by 2, you would also say 4. So 2 different forms, 2 different ways to write it. They mean the exact same thing. But that's where we get the area of our triangle from. So with that being said, these next 2 should be pretty straightforward. Area of a square is the side squared, or a times a, or base times height, whatever you want to call it. Area of rectangle, base times height, should be no surprise. Area of a rhombus. A rhombus is just simply a parallelogram that has all sides equivalent. So it is just base times height. And I just mentioned parallelogram, still base times height. Basically, if we cut off where the height is, the end of this, and we split it over to the other side, we would end up creating our rectangle, which is why the formula for the area stays the exact same as the rectangle. Alright, here's the one that trips people up sometimes. This is the trapezoid. Now, the trapezoid has a little bit of a funky formula, but once you get the hang of it, or once you memorize it, it's really pretty easy. So 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times the height. So base 1, oh gosh, we just threw that all over the place. Let's try again. Let's grab our marker. Base 1, base 2. Somebody said, oh, does it have to be base 1, base 2? What if I say base 2 is up top, base 1 is down bottom? I said that's perfectly fine, because we know when we're adding things together, if I add 1 plus 3, we're going to get 4. If I add 3 plus 1, we're still going to get 4. So again, it doesn't matter which one you call base 1, base 2. We just know that they are the parallel sides of a trapezoid. So let me plug some numbers in here. Let's see how she works. So let's get rid of, actually no, instead of doing that, we're just going to throw it out of the way. And goodbye. And you didn't move. This one doesn't like me today. And it bounced back. Alright, I'm going to drag it over. Alright. And we'll get rid of the height. I'll throw those over there too. Alright, here we go. So let's go base 1 as, let's say 8. Base 2 as 12. And the height as 6. Sometimes the teacher will throw on another number, like this one. Question is, do we need the slant for anything? Unless we're looking for perimeter, that slant does us no good looking for the area of a trapezoid. So, ignore it completely, don't use it, scratch it out, whatever you need to do, but it's not important. Area, base 1 plus base 2, 8 plus 12. I thought my 12s can look nice. 8 plus 12 gives me 20, times a half, so half of 20 gives me 10, and multiply by the height, and my height is 6, so 10 times 6 gives me 60. And again, if this was, say, yards, this would be square yards. Pretty easy? I think so. Let's try another one. Alright, let's see. Base 1, let's go with 5. Base 2 will go with 13. And the height will go with 7. So add them together. 5 and 13 gives us 18. Multiply by a half gives us 9. Multiply by the height. 9 times 7 gives us what? Yeah, you got it, 63. And let's see, we're talking about centimeters here, so we're looking at centimeters squared. Make sure that if they give you the units, that you include your units as part of your answer. Alright, it's pretty standard practice, so always, 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 please add them in. And last but not least, we have our famous kite. So Arabic kite, this one's a little bit different. It's kind of funky, but basically what it says is diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. So if I said D1 is equal to 7 and diagonal 2 is equal to 12, it's simply 7 times 12, which gives us our 84. And again, if this was inches, this would be, whoa, I don't know what just happened there. Oh gosh. Inches, this would be square inches over here. Right. That one's pretty straightforward. It's different than all the rest, but at the same time, it's really not too bad. Alright, well, if you have any questions, check your notes, ask a friend, and as always, if that still doesn't work, come talk to me, Mr. Weeks. Peace out.